My mom banned my son's ninth birthday because my sister's kids didn't feel special enough. So we packed that night and disappeared. A year later, the cousins saw how happy my kid was, and my sister couldn't handle it. The meltdown that followed shattered the family. Hey, Reddit. I never thought I'd be airing family drama online, but here we are. I need to get this off my chest. Grab your popcorn and listen to this train wreck. It gets worse than you think. By the way, I'm dyslexic. Sorry if I stumble through some words. Bear with me, please. I'm Owen, 37 male, a licensed general contractor making solid money, enough to live a comfortable life. Here's the thing about being the family workhorse. Nobody notices you're carrying all the weight until you just stop. And by then, they're too busy blaming you. Before anything, let me give you a quick background so you understand the family dysfunction. My older sister Kylie is what you get when participation trophies meet pure delusion. She's a freelance makeup artist, which basically means she does maybe 3 weddings a year and acts like she runs a Fortune 500. Always talking about building my empire, from her McMansion that her husband's tech salary pays for. Everything with her is a performance. I don't even hate her, honestly. That would take way more energy than she deserves. But I stopped respecting her around the time she told someone at a family dinner she was self-made, while I was literally on a ladder installing her whole security system, for free. The lack of self-awareness was impressive. Mom kept score like she was running a casino. Every little success got tallied up, but the game was rigged from day one. Kylie could post a selfie and Mom would act like she just cured cancer. I could wire an entire house and get a "you're good with your hands, son." Dad was somehow worse because he pretended not to pick sides. Switzerland in cargo shorts. He'd watch Mom play favorites and just sit there, except for occasionally mumbling, "Now, honey," when it got too obvious. Just enabling the whole thing while calling it peacekeeping. This pattern started when we were kids. I'm talking like 10 years old watching Kylie get private tennis lessons while I'm out mowing lawns for $5. Mom said it was teaching me work ethic. Right. Kylie needed lessons to develop her talents. I needed character building through manual labor. Funny how that works. By 15, I was doing handyman work for cash under the table. That's actually where I learned the trade. This old guy who hired me, Vince Caruso, built like a fire hydrant, could frame a wall faster than most people could measure one. He taught me that electrical systems don't lie. They either work or they don't. I met my wife Anna at a service call. Midnight on a Thursday, her security system was freaking out, and the alarm company couldn't figure it out remotely. When I showed up, she offered me cold pizza and apologized for the mess in her living room. We got married at the courthouse with grocery store flowers and her roommate as witness. The photos look terrible. The memory's perfect. Kylie married Colin at some resort in Napa. Full videographer, signature cocktail, one of those dessert walls with like 14 options and a hashtag that rhymed. Mom cried and told everyone it was the pinnacle of her motherhood. At my wedding, she took one photo and bounced before we even cut the cake. So when Evan was born, I held him in that hospital room and had this crystal clear moment. My entire job is to make sure this kid never feels like a footnote in someone else's story. We don't have much, but we've got rules. Don't lie. Don't keep score. Don't let people weaponize kindness against you. My family runs on small favors that aren't actually small. Install Kylie's doorbell and cameras. Fix Dad's garage opener and get it on Wi-Fi. Pick up takeout because Kylie's makeup client ran late. Babysit the cousins because Kylie has a consultation. At first, I said yes to everything because that's what you do, right? You keep the peace. You pay the family tax. But the tax kept going up and I never got a receipt. So I started tracking it to have proof that I wasn't crazy about how lopsided this whole thing was. January through August last year, 42 hours of labor, parts and materials, $378. Reimbursed, $0, 0 cents. 0 thank yous that didn't immediately get followed by another request. The worst part? They'd just schedule me like I was on their payroll. Text at 7 a.m. on a Saturday. Can you come by at 9? Garage door opener died. No, if you're free or when you have a chance. Just straight up expectations. And if I said I had Evan's soccer game? Well, can you come after? It'll only take 20 minutes. It never took 20 minutes. Minimum an hour, usually 2 once they started with the while you're here additions. And Evan's game would be over by the time I finished. He'd ask where I was during his goal. I'd say family emergency. He'd just nod like he understood. But that look in his eyes, like he already knew he wasn't the priority, that haunted me. Mom kept saying they'd settle up at Christmas. Then it was after Kylie's launch. Then, things are tight right now. Meanwhile, Kylie's showing up to family dinner with a new makeup kit. but it's not even about the money. It's the assumption behind it all. Our schedule's negotiable, theirs is set in stone. Evan's needs are flexible, their kids' feelings are like constitutional rights. Our boundaries are selfish, their demands are family obligations. Last year we tried doing a joint birthday party for Evan's 8th. It made sense, Mom said. The cousins should celebrate together. Sharing meant Evan basically faded into the background while Kylie's kids ran the show and got a cake. I watched Evan blow out his candles, 3 out of 8, because Kylie's kids wanted to help, and something in me just cracked. Evan asked me later if joint meant not really mine, and Anna cried in our bathroom. I stood outside that door staring at the smart thermostat I'd installed in my parents' house and thought about sending them an invoice for emotional damages. I didn't, though. Felt too small. Also pointless. Meanwhile, they'd been auditing my worth since I could walk, but somehow that was just family standards. I was about to find out exactly how messed up those standards really were. Saturday morning, the day before Evan's 9th birthday, I swing by my parents' place to borrow their folding tables for the party. We needed extras for food and gifts. Dad's in his recliner doing his best impression of furniture. TV on but muted. That's his default setting when things are about to explode. Mom's in the kitchen making coffee. The air's got that pre-fight tension where everyone knows what's coming. Kylie's there too, sitting at the counter scrolling through emails. She glances up when I walk in, does this weird smirk thing, and goes right back to her phone. Mom sets a mug down hard enough to make her point clear. We need to talk about tomorrow. I just wait. Let the silence do the heavy lifting. You're going to have to postpone Evan's party. What? I asked. Kylie's kids saw the decorations you bought. They're upset. A big celebration for Evan right now would just create conflict. It's not appropriate. The words land like someone threw a brick through a window. It's 5 kids, hot dogs, and a cake from Costco, I say, voice completely flat. We're not booking out Disneyland here? Kylie jumps in without even looking up from her phone. It's not about the party, Owen. It's about being sensitive. My kids are going through a lot right now. They don't need to feel less than. Less than what? I ask. A 9-year-old's birthday party? They're dealing with the separation, Kylie says, finally looking up. Colin moved out 2 weeks ago. The kids are devastated. And here you are planning this big celebration like nothing's wrong. I blink at her. So my kid doesn't get a birthday because your marriage fell apart? Her face goes red. That's not what I said. That's exactly what you said. Mom does her guilt trip voice. If you insist on going forward with this, selfishly, then don't bring him here afterward. We won't reward that kind of behavior. Reward what behavior? I ask. Celebrating my son? Causing unnecessary pain to your nieces and nephews? Mom says. Family comes first, Owen. Sometimes that means making sacrifices. I've been sacrificing for this family my entire life, I say. Evan hasn't. He's 9. He gets a party. Dad clears his throat and sits there like a decorative plant. Completely useless. Something clicks in my brain right then. Not anger. Recognition. I see the whole pattern laid out like a blueprint. My kids' happiness is somehow a threat to their whole ecosystem. The math is completely messed up and always has been. Okay, I say. Super calm. I hear you. I leave the tables right where they are and walk out. Don't slam the door. The silence says plenty. In the truck, I just sit there for 5 minutes with my hands on the wheel. My phone buzzes. Kylie, don't be dramatic. We can celebrate him next month. I turn the phone off. That night, I'm sitting at our kitchen table with Anna. Evan's asleep. They said no to the party, I tell her. She puts down her phone. What do you mean no? Kylie's kids saw the decorations. Mom said if we do it anyway, we're cut off. No visits, no family contact. Anna goes quiet for a long time. Then, what do you want to do? I want to throw my kid his party, I say. And I want to stop negotiating for the basic right to celebrate my own son. Then let's do that. The messages start at 9:40 p.m. Dad first. Let's think this through. Kylie next. Don't make everything so difficult, okay? Then Mom. If you proceed with this party, do not bring Evan to our home again. We cannot support your disrespect. I screenshot everything. Create a folder labeled Evidence. Turn my phone off. Anna and I sit in our kitchen, and I feel something I haven't felt in years. Clarity. Sunday morning, Evan wakes up yelling about being 9 and wearing his favorite shirt inside out because he's too excited to check. We frost the cake together. At 8:52 a.m., Mom calls. I let it ring. 9:15 Kylie. 9:30 Dad. The call log looks like a hostage situation, but I'm too busy tying balloons to a fence post to give a single care. Time to throw my son a party and watch my family completely lose it. We set up at the community park near our apartment, reserved the pavilion for $60, hung a banner that said, Evan's ninth in letters he'd colored himself, brought a cooler full of drinks, hot dogs on a portable grill, and that Costco cake. Kids start rolling in around 11 a.m. Kylie must have seen the park name on the RSVP text chain Colin was still on, because they walked in like they owned the place. Shy hellos that turn into total chaos within like 10 minutes. Soccer in the grass, tag around the trees, that specific brand of joyful screaming, normal kid activities. At 11:20, I see them at the entrance. Mom walks in first, Kylie behind her, Colin trailing along with their kids, looking like he'd rather be literally anywhere else. It was Colin's custody weekend, and Kylie voluntold him to come for the kids. Dad brings up the rear doing his Switzerland routine. Uninvited, uninformed, completely undeterred. Evan runs over and grabs my hand, his palms sticky with frosting. I squeeze back. Mom surveys the setup like she's a health inspector. The paper plates, the gas station cooler, the homemade decorations. Her face does that thing where she's disappointed but trying to look concerned instead. Owen, she says, voice carrying across the whole pavilion. We warned you about the consequences. This is Evan's party, I say, calm as still water. Kylie steps forward with her phone up. Look, I'm not trying to cause drama here, but this is incredibly selfish. My kids have been crying all morning, Owen, because you had to prove a point. I'm celebrating my son's birthday, I say. That's not a point. Mom tries the guilt angle, her signature move. After everything we've sacrificed for you? Sacrificed what? I ask. She blinks like I just asked her to solve calculus on the spot. We raised you. We gave you opportunities. You gave Kylie opportunities. You gave me chores. Don't mix things. One of Evan's friend's moms is watching this whole thing go down. Soccer mom type with a minivan and sensible shoes. She catches my eye and mouths, You okay? I nod. She positions herself between mom and the kids. Kylie jumps in. Oh my god, are you seriously playing the victim card at a children's birthday party? I'm playing the host card, I say. At my son's party. That you weren't invited to. Colin clears his throat. Hey man, can we just... Let's be adults about this. I am being an adult, I say. I planned a party for my kid. You guys showed up uninvited and tried to make it about yourselves. Clear who needs to act like adults. Mom's eyes widened. How dare you speak to us this way? Dad tries to step in. Son, maybe we should all just take a breath. Don't son me, I say. You sat there for 37 years watching this happen and said nothing. You don't get to play mediator now. The kids have all stopped playing, just standing there in awkward silence, watching adults absolutely ruin a perfectly good Saturday. I hate that, but I also know this needs to happen. I crouch down to Evan. You okay, buddy? He nods. You want them to stay? He looks at his cousins, then at Kylie, then back at me. I just want everyone to have fun. Smart answer. Diplomatic. He's 9 and already better at this than any of us. I stand back up. Look right at my mother. You can stay and behave like guests. Or you can leave. You're giving us an ultimatum? She asks, voice shaking with that manufactured hurt. I'm stating boundaries. If that feels like an ultimatum, that says way more about you than me. Kylie tries to storm closer, but Colin catches her arm. She yanks free. You know what? Fine. Enjoy your little party. When your son asks why he doesn't have a relationship with his grandparents, you can explain how your ego was more important than family. When he asks, I say, I'll show him the screenshots of you threatening to cut him off if I celebrated his birthday. I'll let him decide who actually valued family. Her face goes completely red. Mom looks like someone just slapped her. Dad's just staring at his shoes. I turn to the kids. Who wants hot dogs? The pavilion fills with enthusiastic yelling. Mom's standing there frozen. Then she snaps. If you walk away from us like this, don't come back. Ever. We won't be disrespected in front of children. We won't be blackmailed in front of them either, I say. Kylie films herself walking toward the exit, probably already drafting the victim post in her head. You'll regret this, she says over her shoulder. I regret wasting 42 hours of labor on your whole house automation, I say. This actually feels pretty good. Kylie storms off first. Mom and Dad follow in a huff. Colin hangs back long enough to tell the kids they can stay, then slips out. We eat hot dogs. Somebody spills lemonade. Somebody scores a goal and does a backflip. Life just reboots like nothing happened. When the last kid leaves, Anna leans against me. I'm proud of you. I exhale for what feels like the first time all day. Colin shows up like an hour later to get his kids. Kylie left without them. He apologizes. Says the separation is getting messier. Says Kylie's been spiraling since he moved out. He laughs. Sad laugh. Then he says something that sticks with me. She kept telling me you owed her. For being family. For existing. Like you were the jerk for wanting to get paid for skilled labor. I started actually doing the math on what she was spending versus what she was bringing in, and nothing added up. You're better off, I say. So's my bank account, he says. And my blood pressure. That night, I started thinking. I knew we couldn't stay in this apartment that's only 15 minutes from their house. Not where they could just show up whenever they felt entitled to. Not where every grocery run risked an ambush. We clean up the pavilion, take our leftover cake home. That night, I'm sitting on our balcony that overlooks a parking lot, and I realize something important. We need to disappear. Completely. Time to go ghost. We pack like we're fleeing a crime scene. 2 duffel bags, 1 backpack, Evan's favorite Lego sets. Anna grabs our important documents. I take my tool bag and invoice book. Everything else can get replaced or just left behind. I call Vince, the old contractor who taught me the trade. Tell him we need somewhere to crash for a week, maybe 2. He doesn't ask questions. Just gives me the address to a rental property he owns on the east side of town. Says the tenant just moved out, and we can stay there while he looks for someone new. No rent, he says. Just keep it clean and fix anything that breaks. We leave our apartment at dawn. Don't tell the landlord. Don't forward our mail. We ate the deposit and a lease break fee that hit 2 weeks later. Paid it and called it tuition for Peace and Quiet 101. So we load up the truck and drive across town like we're entering witness protection. Vince's place is a 2-bedroom above a tattoo parlor. The stairs creak. The windows don't seal quite right, but it's 30 miles from my parents' house, and that makes it absolutely perfect. The buzz of tattoo guns and the smell of antiseptic become our new normal. Evan thinks it's cool. Anna says it has character. I say it has distance. The family reaction comes in waves. Week 1, 34 missed calls from Mom, 19 from Dad, 12 from Kylie. Unknown numbers that turn out to be cousins and aunts recruited for the guilt campaign. Voicemails ranging from concerned to straight-up threatening. Where are you? We're worried about Evan's well-being. This is abusive behavior, Owen. You're tearing this family apart. I save everything. Label it weather report. One voicemail from Mom really stands out. Your father fell yesterday. Had to call Kylie because we couldn't reach you. What if it had been serious? What if he died and you missed it because of your pride? I call Vince. Did my dad fall? Saw him at the hardware store this morning, Vince says. Looked fine to me. Was buying mulch. Lying to manufacture emergencies. Classic move. Week 2, the financial ambush. Mom texts me a spreadsheet. An actual Excel document. Itemized loans she claims I owe her. It includes birthday gift 2019, $50, now classified as loan. Thanksgiving groceries, $87. Emergency assistance, $200. I rewired their entire electrical panel for free. Christmas presents, $840. Apparently gifts are loans now. Total claimed $2,337. With reasonable interest, $3,150. I screenshot it. Add it to weather report. Text back. Send me an itemized invoice for every hour I worked for free. We can settle the difference. She doesn't respond, but I do the math anyway. Sit at Vince's kitchen table with my invoice book and a calculator. Every job I can remember. Every repair. Every installation. Every quick favor that turned into 3 hours. 42 hours of labor at my current rate of $110 per hour. $4,620. Parts and materials. $378. Family discount, that was actually just free labor. $4,998. I don't bill them, but I keep the invoice. File it with weather report, just in case. Week 3, the smear campaign. Kylie posts some quote about setting boundaries with toxic family members over a sunset photo. 3 people comment hearts. 1 person comments, staying strong for your babies. Then she posts a whole carousel of photos from her kids' healing journey. Therapy sessions. Art projects about feelings. A vision board about rebuilding after family trauma. The comments section is a piece of work. Everyone feels terrible for her. Poor Kylie. Abandoned by her brother. Nobody mentions the 42 hours. Nobody mentions the threats. Nobody mentions my son's birthday. I stay completely off social media. Delete the apps. Block their numbers. Our new life has a rhythm to it. Mornings. Walk Evan to his new school 6 blocks away. Mrs. Lee runs the corner deli and starts giving Evan free apple juice boxes. Your boy has good manners, she says once. That compliment means more than any family dinner ever did. Afternoons, service calls. I raise my rates by 15 bucks and stop apologizing for it. Charge extra for same-day service. Add a weekend premium. Funny thing happens. People just pay. Without complaint. Because professionals charge professional rates. Evenings. Homework at a folding table I found on Craigslist for $10. Pasta 4 nights a week because it's cheap and Evan doesn't complain. Soccer in the park. I take every contracting job I can get. Stop undervaluing myself. And here's the thing. Once you stop doing that, other people stop too. I also implement a new policy. When family texts asking for help, I send a standard reply. Happy to help. Rate is $110 per hour. Weekend rate $140. Payment required upfront via Venmo. Mom replies, "This is ridiculous." Dad replies, "We're family." Kylie replies with a screenshot of a Yelp listing for a different contractor and a laughing emoji. I reply to all of them. Great. Hire them. They don't. In November, Dad calls at 6 a.m. The smart lock system on the front door is acting up. Your mother can't get out to her appointment. I can come Wednesday at 3 p.m. Rate is $110 plus parts. Venmo first. Long silence. You're really doing this? I am. We raised you better than this. You raised me to work for free and accept scraps. I'm doing way better than that. He hangs up. They hire a contractor who charges $185 and apparently messes up the installation so bad they need a second guy to fix it. Costs them $340 total. Mom texts a photo of the bill with the caption, "This is what happens when family abandons family." I type out like 6 different responses. Settle on. That's what market rate looks like. She blocks me. Good, during that time. Evan was changing, gradually, like a plant finally getting actual sunlight after years stuck in a closet. He sleeps through the night, stops tensing up when my phone rings, stops asking, "Are we going to grandma's?" Starts asking, "Can Ben come over?" And "Can we get pizza Friday?" The answer becomes yes more often. Not because we suddenly have more money. We definitely don't. But the emotional tax is just gone. We're not constantly calculating how to keep the peace or manage other people's feelings. We're just living. We started 2 funds. One labeled emergency and one labeled Evans College. The feed them with tips and side jobs. $5 here, 20 there. Sometimes Anna picks up alterations work from neighbors and tucks cash in. The numbers grow slow at first, then faster. Boring and sacred at the same time. I get way better at estimating jobs. At spotting scope creep. At saying that's an additional charge without flinching. One client tries the family guilt trip on me. Says her contractor nephew charges way less. I tell her to hire him. She calls back 2 days later. Pays my rate without negotiating. Word spreads. I'm the guy who shows up on time, fixes things right the first time, and doesn't lie about timelines or costs. Business picks up. Not everything's easy, though. February, the truck needs transmission work. $1,240. We're sitting in the mechanic's waiting room, get the quote, and I feel that old panic rising. But Anna squeezes my hand and says, "We'll figure it out." We dip into the emergency fund, eat ramen for 2 weeks, skip the movies. Evan asks if we're poor. We're careful, I say. He thinks about it. Careful sounds smarter anyway. In March, I run into Kylie at Target. She's in the cosmetics aisle loading up her cart with makeup even though she hasn't had a booking in weeks. She sees me. Does this fake surprised face. "Oh my God, Owen! I didn't know you shopped here." "Where else would I shop?" I ask. "I just mean, never mind." She looks at my cart. Work boots, zip ties, batteries. "Still doing the handyman thing? Still doing the part-time makeup thing?" I ask back. Her face goes nuclear. "I'm building a business. I'm building a life. One has income." She looks like she wants to throw a basket at my head. Instead, she says, "You know Mom had a health scare last month. Nobody could reach you. Because I blocked everyone. What if it had been serious? Then I would have found out at the funeral," I say. Along with everyone else who wasn't on the approved list, she stares at me like I just grew a second head. "You've changed." "No," I say. "I just stopped pretending the cost was worth it." She walks away without her baskets. I buy my boots and head home. The texts keep coming, though, from different numbers. Different tactics every time. Testing for weak points. From Mom, "Your father's turning 65. From Dad, "We miss Evan. This isn't fair to him." From Kylie, "When are you going to stop being petty?" I respond to exactly none of them. Complete radio silence. Total blackout. Here's what they don't get. I'm not making a point. I'm not waiting for an apology. I'm just done. Not mad. Not hurt. Just done. Like a book I closed. Summer comes. We take Evan to the community pool every Saturday. $3 admission, pack our own snacks, sunscreen from the dollar store. He learns to dive off the board. Anna reads books in a lawn chair. I float on my back and think about absolutely nothing. It feels like winning. In August, Evan's school counselor calls. My stomach drops until she says, I wanted to tell you, Evan's emotional regulation has improved dramatically. Whatever you're doing at home, it's working. I'm sitting in my truck outside a job site and I just feel relief. We barely talk to my parents. They send holiday cards, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter. Each one has a passive-aggressive subtext about forgiveness and second chances, and how family should come first. We decline with one sentence each time. Thanks, we have other plans. They send photos of matching pajamas and coordinated table settings. We wear mismatched socks and eat pizza straight from the box, and Evan falls asleep between us. One night in October, Anna asks, Do you miss them? I actually think about it, really think. I miss the idea of them, I say. The version I kept hoping they'd turn into. But the real them? Number. I don't miss being the help. I don't miss wondering when the next ambush is coming. A whole year rolls by. Quiet. No explosions. Just the slow accumulation of better days. Then, Evan turns 10. 2 weeks before Evan's 10th birthday, he asks the question I've been waiting for. Can I invite my cousins to the party? You can invite anyone you want, I say. They might not come. He writes their names down anyway. Right after Ben and Aiden and Paige. Draws tiny soccer balls next to each one. We plan the same setup. Same park pavilion. Plus, I rent an inflatable obstacle course from a company whose van I helped with an electrical issue when the driver's inverter died. He gives me $100 off and throws in a bubble machine. Community karma, he says. Party day. 1 p.m. The pavilion fills up with kids and noise. I set up the obstacle course and it's an immediate hit. Kids screaming, laughing, wiping out on the inflatable walls and bouncing right back up for more. At 1:11, Kylie shows up with her kids. No mom, no dad. The kids look uncertain for like 8 seconds, then see the obstacle course and forget to be strategic. Evan hands his cousin a juice box. You can go first if you want. The cousin smiles. Cool. You go first. It's your birthday. 10 minutes later, I hear, Evan's parties are actually fun. From one cousin to another. Kylie catches it, goes stiff, then snaps loud enough for nearby parents to hear, must be nice having endless attention. One tear, quick turn, and she speed walks to the parking lot. Mom chases her. The kids keep playing like nothing happened. It could have been this simple the whole time. But then at 1:47, Mom and Dad walk in. Late, cautious, dressed like they're going to a funeral. They stand at the edge watching the chaos like anthropologists. Mom approaches me. Can we talk? Not now, I say. We're busy. 5 minutes. No. She blinks. Excuse me? You're not the main character here, I say. Evan is. Either join the party or leave. Those are your options. She looks like I just slapped her. Dad takes her arm. Come on. Let's just enjoy the party, hun. They sit at a picnic table. Don't really interact much. Take a few photos. Leave after cake without saying goodbye. At 2:30, Kylie corners me by the cooler. Arms crossed, doing that fake concerned look. So, this is your revenge? She says. Excluding family from your son's milestone? I didn't exclude anyone, I say. I invited Evan's cousins. They came. You're here. That's inclusion. Mom and Dad are hurt. Mom and Dad threatened to cut off contact with my son if I celebrated his birthday last year. They can sit with that discomfort. You're never going to let that go, are you? Why would I? They meant it. I adjusted accordingly. She tries a different angle. What do you want from us? Nothing, I say. That's the whole point. I don't want your version of family. I'm good. You're bitter. Nope, I'm free. That night my phone blows up. Messages ranging from passive-aggressive to openly hostile. I dropped a stitched screenshot to the family thread, the threats about canceling Evan's 9th, then muted it. No replies after that. You humiliated your mother. You're destroying this family. We'll never forgive you. Don't bother coming to the funeral. I read them all. Save them to weather report. Go to bed. 2 days later, Vince Caruso calls. You busy? Depends. Got a job for you. Big one. Corporate client, office building downtown, full security and automation overhaul. They're looking for a reliable contractor. I recommended you because you do good work and don't mess people over, he says. Also because I'm retiring and need someone to take over my commercial clients. The job pays $18,000. The client's a law firm, respectable, established, the kind of place that doesn't haggle on invoices. I start the following Monday, 20 months in. Here's what happened to everyone who said I'd regret walking away. Kylie's marriage completely falls apart. Turns out when you lose your free tech support and contractor, you start looking for a replacement. Kylie apparently decided that should be Colin. Started demanding he handle everything I used to do. Install smart home equipment. Fix appliances. Run Ethernet cables. Colin's a software engineer, not a contractor. Every project goes sideways. Every failure turns into a fight. She tells everyone she's focusing on her business. Meanwhile, Colin files for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences and financial infidelity. Turns out Kylie's been hiding debt. A lot of debt. Credit cards maxed out for makeup supplies she never even used. A studio space she rented for 6 months that was literally just a spare bedroom in someone's house. Professional photography sessions for a portfolio that got her 0 bookings. The whole makeup artist dream was funded entirely by borrowed money and Colin's paycheck. When he gets access to the accounts during discovery, he finds $38,000 in hidden debt. The house goes up for sale. Kylie moves into a condo and immediately starts telling people she's simplifying to focus on artistry. Translation: couldn't afford the mortgage anymore. Her business dries up too. Brides talk. When your marriage implodes publicly and your own brother won't speak to you, people start wondering what you did. Nobody wants drama on their wedding day. One bride tells her bridal party coordinator, who tells her photographer, who tells a makeup artist friend, who posts in a wedding vendor Facebook group. Anyone else have issues with Kylie? She seemed really off at my trial. Very distracted. Kept checking her phone. Made comments about her ex-husband. I don't want that energy on my wedding day. 43 people see that post. In the wedding industry, that's basically a death sentence. Her bookings drop from 2 a month to 1 every 3 months. She tries to pivot to teaching makeup classes at the community center. Gets 3 students, loses 2 after the first session. I find out because she texts me at 2 a.m. on a Wednesday, clearly emotional and not thinking straight. This is your fault. You turned everyone against me. You poisoned the whole family. I reply, I didn't have to do anything. I just stopped covering for you. Mom and Dad's retirement plan completely collapses. They'd been banking on moving in with Kylie, the big house with the yard and the guest suite. When Kylie's marriage explodes and the house sells, that plan just evaporates. They try to downsize, but the market's brutal. Their house needs work I used to do for free. New buyers want things fixed. Professional quotes come in at $14,000 for basic repairs. They try to negotiate. The buyers walk. 3 more potential sales fall through for the exact same reason. They finally sell at a $30,000 loss and move into a townhouse 40 minutes away. According to my Aunt Helen, they hate it. Too small, too loud, no space for the grandkids to visit. They blame me, obviously. Dad calls in March, not to apologize, to discuss options. Your mother and I have been thinking about multi-generational living, he says. It makes financial sense. We could pool resources. Translation: can we move in with you? Our place is 2 bedrooms, I say. There's no room. You could look for something bigger. We'd contribute to rent. With what money? Silence. We're good where we are, I say. You'll figure it out. He hangs up. The extended family fractures. Most people pick sides. A surprising number pick mine. Aunt Helen says she's been watching the dynamic for years and is relieved someone finally called it out. 2 cousins reach out saying they dealt with similar situations. An uncle I barely know sends me $200 with a note that says, for Evan's college fund. The ones who pick Mom and Kylie? They stop reaching out after about 4 months when they realize I'm not coming back. Just silence. The smear campaign backfires too. Mom tries to rally the church community, paints me as the ungrateful son who abandoned his family over nothing. But she makes the mistake of doing it at a potluck, where Mrs. Lee's there. The lady whose deli got broken into and whose security system I installed for free at 11 p.m. on a Saturday. Mrs. Lee was there dropping trays for her sister's church potluck. She stands up and says, that boy has more integrity in his pinky than most people have in their whole body. Maybe ask yourself why he left. 4 other people nod. Mom leaves early. Hasn't been back to that church since. Kylie's makeup business tanks completely. Reputation matters in that world. And when your own brother won't speak to you, when your marriage explodes publicly, when brides start whispering at bridal shows, people notice. Someone sends me a screenshot of a wedding forum thread. Someone recognized Kylie's name from a vendor list and posted asking if anyone had used her. The comments are brutal. Her last few bookings cancel. Word spreads that she's difficult, unreliable, expensive for what you get. The phone stops ringing. Evan thrives. turns 11, then 12. Taller than Anna now. Honor roll. Travel soccer team. Friends who come over and trash our place, and I love every second of it. We save enough for a real vacation. Drive to the coast. Evan stands in the surf up to his knees and says, "Dad, this is the best day of my life." Anna takes a photo of him and me standing in the water. Sun setting behind us. Both of us grinning like idiots. That photo lives on our fridge now, right next to his honor roll certificate and the birthday countdown calendar. I'm not the supportive son who did free labor anymore. I'm the guy who walked away and built something better. I became the disappointment son, which is good for me. At least I am happy and having peace of mind. YouTube just dropped this new hype feature. If you're hooked on this story, smash that hype button. It tells YouTube this video deserves to blow up, and it keeps even crazier stories coming your way.